Guys, welcome again. And we must understand the mysteries of space. Black holes, alien life, the Big Bang. Space and its mysteries have always fascinated people and inspired artists and writers. We know quite a lot about space, but there is far more we don't know. So, what is fact and what is fantasy? Other mysteries, such as how stars are born in nebula and die in supernova, are gradually being solved with the help of incredibly powerful telescopes. But there is a long way to go. Lots of people claim to have seen flying saucers or unidentified flying objects, UFOs, while some claim to have visited alien spaceships. But do UFOs really exist? What is this image? Turn to find out. Curiosity about aliens have produced lots of ideas about what they might look like. In some books and films, aliens look much like humans with two arms and legs, while in others they resemble giant blobs or spiders. Which novel about an alien invasion from Mars was published in 1898? And the answer is The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Flying saucers shaped objects, crop circles, lights in the night sky. People have long claimed to see and find evidence of UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Look at some of the claims yourself. What do you think? These are intricate designs made from flattened areas of corn. Some believe they are the landing sites of flying saucers, but many have been proved to have been man-made. The idea that intelligent life exists outside our solar system has always seemed to intrigue people. The cave painting is thousands of years old. It appears to depict an extraterrestrial encounter. Was it a strange craft? The Apollo picture shown on the previous page was thoroughly investigated and found to be nothing more mysterious than the floodlight boom used when astronauts left the spacecraft. A UFO comes into land, waiting for an answer. This image has still not been explained, though some suggest it may be the mirror from a truck. It was taken by a farmer in Oregon in 1950. In the Bible, Ezekiel seems to describe the appearance of a UFO. At least some people think so. He told of a fiery, wheeled objects in the sky that shot lightning bolts. Some newspapers have even reported the landing of alien spacecraft. The most famous of these incidents occurred at a place called Roswell, USA, when strange debris was found in 1947. People claimed the debris found of Roswell was a spacecraft that crashed. Early newspaper reports called it a flying disc. However, the military said it was a top secret weather balloon. Roswell resulted in a number of books, films, stories, and gendered speculations. However, most people now believe that it was a weather balloon. An Air Force weather balloon in 1955, 8 years after Roswell. Which country do you think has the most reported incidents of UFO? And the answer is the USA. Is anyone there? If there are aliens, it is unlikely they will speak the language of Earth, so communication may be a problem. Coded signals have been sent into space. People are also listening for signals from space. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, uses powerful radio telescopes to scan for alien signals. However, so far nothing has been found. In 1974, astronomers at Arecibo, Puerto Rico sent a radio message from us to the stars. It was sent towards a cluster of stars called M13, where it will arrive in 25,000 years. We may then get a reply after another 25,000 years, if anybody is there to read it. The Arecibo message lasts 3 minutes. It consists of 1679 pulses, which when arranged from a pictogram. The pictogram explains the basis of life. Numbers from 1 to 10. Atoms including carbon and hydrogen. Some interesting molecules are there. Spiral structure of DNA, a human form, and Earth's population, Earth's position in our solar system, the telescope that sent the message. All these are included in the Arecibo's message. A plaque into space. The space probes Pioneer 10 and 11 carry engraved metal plaques. It is space equivalent of a message in a bottle. The plaques reveal Earth's place in the solar system. The probes route away from Earth and give the outlines of a man and woman. A record into space. The Voyager spacecraft sent up in 1979 and 1981 each carried a gold-plated LP record, a disc that has encoded sounds and photographs that will provide an alien intelligence with an idea of life on Earth. There are greetings in 56 languages, and that includes a recording of whale song. Gold-plated record with sounds of Earth and cover for Voyager first. The record was mounted on a bracket on Voyager first. Can you guess how many languages are spoken on Earth? And the answer is almost 7,000. Just imagine how many may be spoken in the universe. Friends, do you think is there life on Mars? Historically, many people have believed that a race of creatures live on Mars. Representations have appeared in books, artwork, comics, on the radio and on television, and in films in many different forms. Do any of these creatures actually exist? No. In the 780s, William Herschel observed seasonal changes around the Martian poles and noted that its inhabitants probably enjoy a situation in many respects similar to our own. In the 1920s, a newspaper report on the Martian claims they would have very large noses and ears and immense lung development. Their legs are poorly developed because matter on Mars weighs less than here. The idea of intelligent Martian life reached a peak of the turn of 20th century when a wealthy businessman, Percival Lowell, set up his own observatory in Arizona, USA, and began to study Mars. Lowell claimed he could see a network of lines crisscrossing the surface of Mars, which he believed were built to transport water from the poles around the planet. We know the lines weren't there, but many people believed. Lowell's theories caught up by the excitement of the idea. The discussions inspired H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, a book published in 1898. In 1901, the French Guzman Prize offered an award of 1 lakh francs for the first person to make contact with extraterrestrials. Terms actually excluded contact with Martians as it was believed to be too easy. In 1938, a radio dramatization of H.G. Wells' book by Orson Welles sent a million Americans into panic. The broadcast described the Martian invasion of Earth in the form of a news report. Guess how many canals on Mars Percival Lowell mapped? And the answer is he claimed to see an incredible 160. A universe is born. What was later termed the Big Bang was first proposed by George Lemaitre in 1931. Scientists believe it was the beginning of everything, but none know what caused it to happen. What happened? The Big Bang, a day without yesterday. Space and time were brought to life from minute speck, which was unbelievably hot and heavy. The energy contained in this speck immediately began to spread out in the form of an ever expanding fireball. Matter only began to form hundreds of thousands of years after the Big Bang, long after the fireball had cooled. The resulting gases would form the stars, planets, and galaxies that exist today. As the universe expands and cools at 3 lakh years, matter as we know it starts to form. The universe is thousands of its size today. Stars and galaxies start to form after about 300 million years. At 9 billion years, the universe looks much as it does today. If a little bit smaller, our sun starts to form. Scientists have detected a faint radio signal present in any direction they look for it in space. They believe it is a faint glow from the Big Bang's super hot fireball. It is called the cosmic background radiation. There is no beginning, no end. An alternative to the Big Bang, the steady state theory claimed there was no beginning or end for the universe. It has just always been there. Few scientists now believe in the steady state theory. The astronomer who gave the Big Bang theory its name didn't support it. He termed it Big Bang as a criticism and was surprised that the name stuck. He believed in the steady state theory. Let us ask one question. Do you think the Big Bang was an explosion? And the answer is no. It was more of an event. Black holes are a great mystery. Astronomers know they are there because of their effect on nearby stars. If a star is too close, it gets pulled towards the hole. But they have proved very difficult to study. Why? Because they are black and that makes them invisible. Why are they there? Birth of a hole. Black holes are sometimes born when a star explodes and dies. When a big star has run out of fuel, it can't stop gravity pulling its gas together, squeezing it tighter and tighter until it forms a tiny neutron star or a black hole. Black holes have such strong gravity that nothing in the surrounding space can escape, not even light. However, they do not act as enormous vacuum cleaners. Something has to get close enough to be in danger of being pulled in. They are a bit like space whirlpools, affecting just their area of space. How do we find the holes? Scientists can find black holes because gas and dust falling into a hole rubs together and becomes incredibly hot. This gives off X-rays which space telescopes detect. The astronaut would be stretched into a long, thin, spaghetti-like shape, finally being crushed to an invisible speck. Later, the black hole's gravity would pull harder on the astronaut's feet, than at their head. What do they do? Is that true? Some people think a black hole may be a doorway to another universe, but it's all just speculation. Nobody really knows, however, it is doubtful someone could survive the journey through the hole to find out. An astronaut unfortunate enough to try would be stretched out like a piece of spaghetti. There is a question, how big can a black hole get? And the answer is they grow as they eat, so they are only limited in size by the matter they consume. Are there other Earths? Astronomers know that there are planets outside our solar system. One day they hope to discover a planet that is capable of supporting life. The search has begun. 20 light years away from us lies a star called Gliese 581. Astronomers have identified 3 planets orbiting Gliese. One is too hot for life, one is too cold, but one is in the Goldilocks zone and it may be just right. Gliese 581c is thought to orbit in the Goldilocks or habitable zone where the surface temperatures would allow liquid water. The planets we find are so distant that it is difficult to be sure of their size or their composition. The European Space Agency are looking at the possibility of space telescopes that will seek out exoplanets. A flotilla of 4 telescopes called Darwin's planned for launch in 2015. Darwin may not go ahead as it is just at the planning stage. Exoplanets or solar planets are planets orbiting a star other than our Sun. More than 200 exoplanets have been identified since the first was discovered in 1995. Astronomers believe there are many more. Exoplanets cannot be seen through a telescope. One way they are found is by looking for a star's orbit as it is affected by an orbiting planet. A question is remaining. How many planets do we actually know have life on them? And the answer is one, the Earth. A star is born. Clusters of stars are constantly being born from clouds of dust and gas thousands of times the size of our solar system in a process that can take millions of years. Between existing stars there are patches of dust and gas. Gradually these draw in more and more dust and gas to form huge clouds called nebula. Clumps of matter gather together in these clouds. Means it will be born in a cloud. There are hot colors. As this matter gets more and more dense, heat builds up to form a young star that fills the surrounding nebula with light and color. This spectacular effect was captured by the Spitzer Space Telescope. We have fusion. With enough matter, this process continues. The star gets denser and hotter. Eventually, nuclear fusion begins, releasing huge amounts of heat and light. A star is born. Some stars shine red, others shine yellow or bluish white. A star's color depends on its temperature. Red stars are the coolest, while blue stars are the hottest. What is in a name? Horsehead, lagoon, eagle, and cat's eye. Some of the best known nebula have popular names inspired by their shapes. What type of star? Stars have different characteristics. According to the amount of matter involved in their birth, they differ in color, temperature, and brightness, and in the length of time they stay alive. The life of star. The universe is home to lots of different types of stars. Red dwarfs are smaller than our sun. They burn fuel slowly, so they live a long time. Young solar systems, leftover material from a star's formation, can turn into planets. Blue giants are among the hottest stars and live for less than 100 million years. Supergiants are the rarest stars. They have short lives under 50 million years. And the question remains, which star cluster is also called the Seven Sisters? And the answer is the Pleiades, because you can see 7 of its stars without a telescope. Within the mysteries of space, there is a death of a star. Stars are born, live out their lives, and ultimately die. In dying, all their elements are thrown back into the clouds of gas and dust from which they form, and the process begins again. They are getting bigger. When a star such as our sun gets old, it begins to expand. It becomes a red giant or supergiant. This is because as it uses up its fuel, hydrogen, its center or core becomes smaller and hotter. That leads to its expansion. We are made from elements such as oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, and iron. Hydrogen has been around since time began, while the other elements get made inside stars and spread when they die. Artist's impression of our sun losing its outer layers at the end of its life. All living things are made from star dust. And finally, smaller. Once it's hot enough, a red giant starts to burn a new fuel called helium that pushes the outer layers of the star further out. The star then begins to lose their layers as a nebula and eventually emerges as a small white dwarf star. Going out with a bang, some giant stars end their lives with a huge explosion called a supernova. Sometimes the center will survive as a black hole or neutron star. There is a lighthouse in space. Some neutron stars send out radio waves that sweep around as the star spins. Astronomers can pick up these signals. These neutron stars are called pulsars. And the question remains, how much longer will our sun continue to burn its hydrogen? And the ultimate answer is, its fuel will last another 5 billion years. Thanks for watching.